like Bukayo Saka, like Foden, like others. Can you tell us something about this new generation, because you are like an old guy with these guys? Can you tell us about these young players?
I think it's great for the English game. As you just mentioned, a few there with, you know, Jude being one of them that have come onto the scene and kind of, you know, they've had this courage to play for England that probably many of us didn't have when we was that age, where it's no fear, it's fearless, and they go and, you know, express themselves. I feel that we have to pay a big, you know, compliment to the manager for him allowing us to do that, and him allowing these youngsters to have the chance and go and express themselves. But I think it's also to them and their dedication to the game and how they want to, you know, obviously be the best that they can be as a footballer.
Okay, to James Ollie here.
Hi, Kyle.
Hi,
James
mate.
Ollie from ESPN. You're only 32, so this might be a premature question, but have you thought about your international future at all? Is there a possibility this might be your last tournament with England?
No, I'm a guy that takes a game at a time. I don't really look towards the future. I can assure you now that I will go for as long as possible, as long as I feel that it's right for myself, you know, my family, and also for the nation. And if the manager thinks that's right, I feel really fit, I feel strong, I feel energetic. I still, you know, want to achieve things that I've already achieved and I still haven't achieved in football. And the hunger's still there, so I feel great. It's not going to happen, you know, anytime soon, but as again, who knows in the future what will happen. It's going to come to an end one day, isn't it?
But as from the way you're talking, you're thinking 2024 is very realistic. And
2024, I'm 34. As long as I'm performing well and I feel good in my body, and the manager wants to pick me first and foremost, then we'll see. But as again, I'm really not thinking, you know, too far into the future, and that's not to, you know, bypass your question. It's more, you know, game at a time, which is on Saturday, and then we'll look and see what happens from there on.
thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Kyle.
Hi.
Frederick from IFP. I had a question. I was looking at the statistics, and I noticed that England has much more possession than in the previous tournament, like 10 points more than in Russia and 14 points more than at the Euro. Is it something the coach has asked you to work on? And second, does it make it easier for people like you who come from a club like Manchester City, where possession is an important target in the game?
I feel why we've got more or less is maybe down to the tactics that we played a 5 in the Euros and the World Cup. So maybe we can control the ball a little bit better, and we've got more men further up the field with attacking minds. You know, does it help me personally? Of course, I'm used to playing, you know, with Man City and Pep, and he does like to keep the team and pass the other teams to death, really. So listen, we try and play in our own way, but I think that we also have to take into consideration the manager's ideas here. He's got different ideas to Pep, and, you know, he'll do what he feels is best for the nation in getting the 3 points.
Hi, Walker. Rafael Nario from TV Globo from Brazil. We know that you had played with Hugo Lloris in Tottenham, and Harry Kane still plays with him. Do you know any secrets to beat him? And what do you think Harry Kane has any secret for that?
If I told you the secret, it wouldn't be a secret. So I'm going to keep the secret with me. I feel that obviously Harry and I have both played with him. Eric Dyer have played with him, you know, for a number of years, and Harry will know what to do when he comes into that position. But also Hugo will know what Harry's going to do. So I think it's a little bit of cat and mouse. The main thing is for us is to get this victory. We desperately want it. I think as a nation we've worked really hard in the last 4 years to achieve what we want to achieve, and now, as you can see, all these people are here because they know it's going to be a fantastic game, and I think that's credit to, you know, to both nations with what they've achieved over the years.
Carl, David Ornstein from The Athletic. I hope you're playing tomorrow, on Saturday after all the Mbappe questions. Declan Rice missed training today. Is he going to be okay from what you know? Is it just a minor illness, or is there a doubt over him?
I honestly didn't know until we was doing the the pre-act in the gym, I still don't know because I haven't spoke to the lads. I just wondered where he was. So maybe it's a medical issue. I'm not too sure. Maybe ask the doctor. He'll be able to tell you something.
You mentioned the other tournaments, semi-finals in 2018, Euros final. You've been involved in all of them as one of the more senior players. Do you assess this group as having the best chance of winning the trophy compared to the previous two major tournaments?
I don't know actually, because I feel that the standard of players has probably gone up another level in this tournament. I'm not saying that Russia was a bad standard, but I feel that us as a team was a little bit inexperienced in big game matches. Okay, we knocked a few walls down in Russia with winning a penalty shootout and stuff like that, but we still was inexperienced. We got to the semi-final, we scored early. We didn't really know how to handle that. So I think we're more equipped, but I do think that the players for the other teams, I mean, you look at Morocco, for example, how well they played against a very, very good Spain team and went and got the result that they wanted. And I feel that, you've had a few surprises with Japan and stuff like that in this World Cup. So I feel that there's, the standard of players has gone up probably a little bit more than Russia.
And just quickly, if you don't mind, obviously you had a day off yesterday and we've seen all the fun and games around the camp. But is there a palpable feeling now with France coming quarter-final, do or die, as you say, that there's a change in atmosphere in the camp, a greater seriousness, a bit less larking around, which is a good thing, and a bit more, this is it now?
I don't think there's ever been that. I mean, it's a bit cliche for me to say that we don't have a laugh and of course we have a laugh and a joke, but when you train and you work hard. You make sure that you get the details in that you need to know. And then when you've got your free time, it's free time. You need to make sure that it's a relaxed camp, that no one's really listening, no offence, to the outside noise and anything like that. And we just concentrate on ourselves. It's us that are going to have to walk over that white line on Saturday and hopefully get the victory. But, we need you guys as the media, the fans that are going to be travelling over, and, they've been fantastic singing for us. You're the 12th man to hopefully make us go and get the victory that we want.
Hi, Kyle. James Robson, AP. You've probably spent the past 5 years or so at club level always being the favourites, no matter what, who City play. Maybe to the outside, England would be just about underdogs in this match. How would that affect the way you go into it?
I don't think it changes. If we're the favourites, we're not the favourites. It's a game of football. I think you've seen in this World Cup what can happen in 90 plus minutes. There's been a few upsets, a few teams thinking that they're going to go out early doors, and they managed to string a couple of good results together. And that's what we just have to think. It's another game. As I keep saying, we take our hat off to them. They're the world champions. They got the respect that they deserve because they won the last World Cup. But I can assure you that each and every one of us, whether it's the 11 that's starting or the people that come on, will not be rolling the red carpet out for them to go and perform and think it is a theatre for them to showcase their great talent. We've also got great talent that I think that we need to be speaking about as well. The goals that we've scored, the clean sheets that we've kept, and we just move forward with that.
You don't see yourself as underdogs at all?
Say again, sorry?
You don't see yourself as underdogs at all, as far as you're concerned?
I see yourself playing the world champions, and I see two very good teams that are going to go toe-to-toe. I don't see no outright favourite or, underdog.
Okay, we've got four lined up. Silent gentleman here.
Hi, Kyle.
Hi.
Marcel from the Dutch Telegraph. I come from a country where managers have always thought that attacking football is the best for our country. Louis van Gaal's doing the opposite now. He says we have to be a counter-attacking team if we want to win something. At the same time, I feel as if your team is probably more attacking and more attractive than any other time for many years. Would you agree? And how do you look at this situation of whether you can attack or not in a World Cup?
I feel that we've got great players, and I think we've got great players that can come off the bench and affect games, which they've done. And I think that's full credit to, we'll say, the likes of Marcus Rashford, who come off the bench and, scored a goal. Jack Grealish, who's come off the bench and scored a goal. The players that have started, Bakayle's been on fire. Phil's scoring goals. Harry's got his goal now. So we've got goals coming from all end of the field. Now, me as a defender, I want clean sheets. You know, I'm fantastic if you go and get goals, but if we scrape through and win a 1-0, and I know that, you know, the back four, the back five have dug in and, you know, made sure that we get that clean sheet, that's my main concern of, you know, not conceding goals. But as you say, it's a great bunch to be in. I can tell you in training it's tough marking some of these guys, but you want to play against the best in the world, and I think we've got some of them, you know, in that changing room across the road.
Hi, Kyle. Here.
Yeah.
Vincent from French media. I have two questions for you. The first one would be, do you think there's a special rivalry between France and England, even today? And the second one would be about Hugo Lloris. What do you think about him as a person and as a goalkeeper? Thanks.
I think France and England have always been a great game and a great battle. I remember watching, you know, France and England when I was growing up, and it's always been, you know, a great match. I think you're going to get another one come Saturday. As for Hugo, he was my captain at Tottenham. I remember when he signed, when there was Brad Friedel in net and Hugo come from Lyon. And he's always been a great professional and a great captain. So I have nothing but good words to say for Hugo. But I mean, if he's watching, I hope you don't have the best of games on Saturday, because, you know, I want to win and I want to take my nation through.
Hi, Carl. Roman from National World. There's this perception that when you play big games, or when England play big games, they play with the handbrake on, 5 at the back, and then try to catch up teams. It happened against Italy in the Euros final. Is this the perfect opportunity to go out there and boss the world champions and play to your ultimate limit?
I think it's a great opportunity to put a stamp down and to say that we are a good team and we can achieve, you know, great things. And I think that it will ultimately give us the belief that we can actually go on and win this. I'm not saying that we don't believe, but to beat a big team like France in a quarter-finals match and the reigning world champions, you've got to take some confidence from that. Not arrogancy, but confidence. As you said, for, you know, defending or being a little bit more negative in previous tournaments, I feel that, you know, the manager makes the right call to play a 4 or play a 5. You know, no one was complaining about a 5 in defence when we reached the European final. And then all of a sudden when we get to the European final and it's probably not as attacking as what people have liked to see, then it was a, you know, a bad move. So I think it's a little bit harsh to judge him on what, you know, he's done previously. I think we've moved forward from this tournament as playing as a 4 and playing really good attacking football and scoring goals. So let's just go off the last game, which we won, and it was a, you know, comfortable win, I feel, and we move forward from that.
Okay, last question of this section from Jerry there.
Hi, Carl. Jerry Lawton here at the Daily Star. Good luck.
Thank you.
At the weekend.
Thank you.
Would you believe there's been a tornado 10 miles north of the ground where you're going to play today? There's a guy on the internet holding a pile of hail.
Yeah.
The last thing I thought I'd be asking you in a desert question, but rain is actually forecast, a really good chance on Saturday. Do you think, you'll probably be used to playing in the rain, that might be something that will have an influence on the type of game we get and England's chances?
I never thought I'd say it. I can't wait to see rain. It's been that long, and living in Manchester, you see rain every day. It was actually looked like it was going to rain when we was training outside, so I'm not surprised that you said that it was a tornado, you know, obviously where the ground was. It can have a factor, you know. France experienced rain as well, so it's both teams playing in different weather conditions than what they've been used to over the last couple of weeks and being out here. But I don't think that that's going to really make the difference between two sides, a little bit of rain, if I'm being honest.
Okay, well, that ends the live section. We'll now move on to a very short section of Bargain until 10:30 p.m. this evening UK time.